Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Starting 11 here on Good Friends Better Rivals, part of the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia, that's Snark. And Snark,
Mhm.
I'm surprised you're wearing the jersey today.
They won.
Not today,
The
they didn't.
well, today didn't count. We don't talk about this dumb Carabao Cup on
Oh,
this
it's
thing
only
that gets
dumb because
mentioned.
you lost.
Oh, no Carabao Cup never. Even the sporting directors when they came in says we don't really care about domestic cups except for the league, and then yeah, they're after European stuff. They got their eyes set on bigger stuff like getting nobody in under the window except for having to trade around their own players between loan deals
Yeah,
and
that
stuff
was
like that.
interesting.
It was interesting, but no one can go crying about how much money Chelsea spent in a window.
No.
It's the other two teams that keep spending money all the time in windows and never ever says anything about they spent all the money this window. But we'll talk about them in a bit. So we're going to talk about the one Carabao Cup finalist. Something that they can hang, above their doors and stuff like that as they go in. Carabao Cup finalist Arsenal, as they had to go all the way to Bell End Road
Yeah.
uh, this weekend. You got exactly what you wanted to get. You got an easy win. Like this is
Yes, we
something
did.
that you guys needed to get done. Got done. Didn't fool around with it. Didn't play around with people in the back nursing a 1 goal lead. You just went took 3 points from a team that was willing to give them up.
Yeah. I mean, Leeds were not good.
You were
Um,
they were so willing to give them up. They gave up a goal to Nani Madueke and an assist.
Madueke was really good in that game.
Yep.
Um, the team played well. They rebounded from the last few weeks. I mean, I know it's just Leeds, but if you can't beat Leeds 4-0, what are you doing?
Well, you're Chelsea Football Club and you're sitting on your ass and letting them get two on you on the bridge
Well,
because a
that's
certain former manager didn't understand. You don't sit players for goddamn rivalry matches in the league. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
that's great, but this is one of the reasons why Arsenal is in first and you guys aren't, is because we have been beating the teams like Leeds this year. We haven't slipped up against a team like Leeds this year. I mean, there's not much to say. We should have slaughtered them. We did slaughter them. That's it.
Yeah. Yep, Madueke gets his first. It was his first goal in a year, and his first assist in even more than a year
Hmm.
since he was over at Chelsea. Of course, it was the whole thing or whatever before. It got like Madueke gets his goal after the match. It's announced that during the match that was an own goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the big thing was everyone's going to run out to get an own goal Arsenal jersey because it was at that point tied for the club lead. But nope, Gyökeres laid all that to waste anyways. That was a really nice put away from that cross in. Was it Martinelli that crossed that one in?
I think it was.
Yeah, they worked well. Like Leeds just offered nothing. This is
Absolutely
just
nothing.
you just showed the disparagement between the two sides, between a promoted side that's still hanging out, still in,
Yep.
they're not in the drop zone yet. They aren't like safe. They're only 6 points clear of safety right
Yeah.
now after a good for them a pretty good start. But yeah, with West Ham making moves and stuff like that, we'll see. Of course, they bottled a 2-0 lead at halftime. Yeah, that Gabby Jesus goal too. That's some good work against Pascal Strike. Just keeping them away from the ball and that turn and strike or whatever, getting to the top
Yeah.
corner. Good job all around for Arsenal. Now, as for the window closing, what they did with Mikel Marino getting hurt,
Hmm.
getting a stress fracture in his foot against United. There came the rumors about, oh, United's going to go in there for a midfielder. Problem was they weren't
United.
going to do. Was that?
You said United's going to go in for a
Oh, sorry.
midfielder.
Arsenal's going to go in for a midfielder. Problem was they left everything so late they weren't looking for anybody. Then an injury comes up. It's like, well, they got pivot, didn't really get anything. They did bring in a midfielder, but he was what, 17 years old or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like
Not
that.
not quite enough. There was a rumor going around about Sandro Tonali That would have been a big.
Yeah,
I don't know how they would have got that done. And
I don't either.
says, he's happy here, and we're happy to have him, and we don't feel like moving him. So it would cost an astronomical amount to get Sandro Tonelli in, and then you'd have to carry him forward and stuff like that. And you guys are great at bringing him in, but getting like selling off the guys like the gonna start compounding, you get into a problem soon. But for now, you guys are fine.
Yeah,
You sell, finally get rid of Zinchenko. You,
finally.
you get him in for 35 million euros
Mhm.
in 2022. He sold for one and a half. That's not
Yeah,
good
not the
business.
best business. Not the
Not good
best
business.
business.
Yeah.
But he's gone, and that's all I care about.
Yes. Off the books. Well, I'm going to talk about another guy that's gone in a second. Might have spent a couple of months over at your own club there.
The
Uh,
entire season, not a couple months.
Waneri comes goes off to Marseille for you guys get some minutes in the
Is
French
De
league.
Zerbi still the manager at Marseille? Because I
He
saw a bunch
put
of stuff about how he wasn't, and I was
he
like,
after they got bounced from the Champions League, I think he put in notice that he can leave. But I don't know if he has left. I don't know if it's official. But
I'm gonna
and
look that
also
up
it happened just
because
after he got bounced. So
uh, Ethan Waneri going to Marseille was
hmm
strictly because they wanted him to learn under De Zerbi.
yep. Funny how
So
funny how football works. Doesn't always go directly to plan, but
yeah,
maybe they already had the agreements done up or whatever. They can't keep Waneri in there if they're not playing him. So send him in.
no,
Yeah, it was
he's staying there.
yeah. Evan Mooney is the guy that you brought in for St. Mirren, the Scottish club.
Mm-hmm.
He's a kid and
He is.
they're saying he has promise and stuff like that. One goal and 20 appearances in the Scottish league. So he's had playing time. I don't know how much he's going to get at Arsenal, but I think they can put him into the youth kind of stuff, the under 21s kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a youth signing for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Leeds just all they did was bring in Buonanotte from Brighton after they recalled him from the Chelsea loan.
Yeah.
So there you go. Not a huge window. It really isn't a huge window for most clubs, including Chelsea. We'll talk about them next because, well, 3 points are great. You know what I mean? And that the club responded after going down 2-0, pretty good.
Hmm.
It's the fact that they were down 2-0 to West Ham
Yeah.
at the bridge after
At
45
halftime.
minutes
Yeah.
that had my blood boiling.
I figured it was.
Yes, the afterwards or whatever, like you don't really get to see it during the match and stuff like that. There isn't as many things on the ground like for football broadcasting in England. But after you see 45 minutes, Robert Sanchez going off, and the fans are going on him. This game has nothing to do with Robert Sanchez. He was good. If anything, he saved the match for them. The problem was that goddamn left side that they had to put out in that first half. Garnacho, Hato, and Badiashile is as bad
Terrible.
defending as you'll see from anybody in this league. Like they were Burnley bad, they were Wolves bad, they were bad, horrible.
Hmm.
They couldn't defend. Both goals are going to come from that side. That one is a bit of a wonder goal. Uh, by Jared Bowen,
Hmm.
but you can see the one player trying to put his foot in there for the touch. Maybe that's what puts Sanchez off. Is like he's playing for that touch, and I don't know how that guy misses it even, but it just goes over his head. Still curling is There's not much you can do against a wonder shot like that, but I don't know. Get on your man. Maybe that's one thing you could do
Yeah.
instead of just letting your man be, have so much space on the touchline. Go after him. And when Garnacho would have the ball, what did he do with it? He'd run at players, get dispossessed. At one point, he's down just after he gets past a midfield and just passes it into nothing space, into a negative zone where there's like three defenders. What is he doing?
I don't
So,
know.
45 minutes, and at least Rosignor has had enough. Unlike the former manager, who after 45 minutes would have given these guys 75 minutes to see if they would do anything, and then replace them all with defenders, just hoping
Hmm.
that 2-0 isn't going to be bad enough. This guy goes on the front foot. He does replace Betty Ashill with Fofana, which is I have no idea if Fofana's healthy. Why they put Betty Shield in? This is all that medical baloney that they've let seep into the club's bananas. And then they have Cucurella come on. They have finally into his own position. And then they have Joe Pedro come on. And all three of those
Were they
guys are going to
resting
connect for
guys
goals.
for the game today?
They rest guys all the time. Oh, yeah. Reece James didn't even go with the club. You know how many minutes he played in this match. You know how many minutes he got? 9. He got 9 minutes, and they rested him for this game. Like I said, they don't really care about the Carabao Cup. It's like you made a semifinal, and you were down 1 goal. You lost 96 minutes without giving up one. But no, they never tried. Like that second half, they were garbage. What were they
But
doing?
yeah,
They put Cole
yeah.
Palmer in. He can't do anything about it. You just have bad players. They brought in. It was like a 3-5-2.
It was
What?
weird. It was
Yeah,
a weird
none of this made any
formation
sense.
today.
But yeah, they set players. Yeah, they didn't. They couldn't care less if they got to that championship, which is a strange thing, but
Yeah.
whatever. They finally get a week off of stuff, which is fine. Because anyways, yeah, that Jao Pedro goal, very nice.
Very nice.
I think that Cucurella goal, that's a good job. You got to feel a little bad for Liam Delap because it goes off his header goes off the bar, and then Cucurella is gonna scream in there with the header to score it and stuff like that. And he's a guy who's got to get going. There was all the rumors about him maybe going to Manchester United
Yeah,
while
that was
this window was
weird.
going on. Yeah, it was weird. Well, I was like, at this point, I was like, all right, am I gonna miss Liam Delap if he would have left this window? No. No, he hasn't been doing as much. He even maybe it's because he doesn't have the ball like he would have all the time last year in Ipswich. He has to share the ball and stuff like that, but he doesn't lead the line, even though that's his one job is to lead the line, like get forward. He likes to throw his weight around a little couple of things
Hmm.
until the very end of the game. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
he's
we got
just.
to talk about that.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a second because the last goal is scored by Enzo, and Jao Pedro's little back heel kick, whatever, pass to him is fantastic. The celebration by Enzo, ripping off the shirt, super excited. The crowd's going nuts or whatever. This is all great. Again, it was West Ham. It was West Ham. All right, the comeback win
Yeah.
is great, but yeah, it was West Ham. They never should have been in this problem. So
No, you shouldn't have.
no, uh, the end of the game. So uh, Cucurella is going in for a 50-50 ball with Adama Traore. Shoulder checks him, the ball goes out, but it's going to be a corner. For some reason, I don't know what Traore's so mad about, but he double underhooks Cucurella and throws him off the pitch.
Yeah.
No card for that, mind you.
I was shocked there was no card for that.
It's bananas. So, Jao Pedro is the guy that's going to run up and stand there. Jao Pedro is by no means shies away from any of the physical stuff, especially when he was over in Brighton. He had a knack for letting an elbow fly every once
Hmm.
in a while. But when he's standing, and you could see like him, and then Traore, and Traore looking mad with his hands and like squaring up.
Hmm.
What are the refs doing? They're just like, well, boys will be
I have
boys.
no idea what the rest were doing. I didn't know this had happened
Yeah,
because I missed the end of the Chelsea game because I was doing something. So I saw that they won. I didn't
yeah,
know this had happened. I was doing the UFC watch along with Shug on this
yeah. Right,
channel
right, right.
Saturday night, and our friend who likes to come in the chat, BX Gunner, came in the chat
Sure.
and asked me if I'd seen it, and I had not. So
So
I went
this
and
is
found it.
Yeah, this is all that really goes on with Traore. There's the throw, the
Yeah.
square, because he's going to run after him like Chelsea, like all
What?
soccer players do,
Where
and
were
then
the
a little push,
refs?
and then a push, and then
Yeah.
they start pushing, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
In comes Tadibo. Now,
Mhm.
he might be a little set because he had a chance to draw a level and he hits the post.
Yeah.
Well, like just 3 minutes after Enzo put him ahead. Might be a little upset from that. But he's going to run up and for some reason grab Pedro by the throat.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Can't do that unless you manage PSG. then it's fine to do that. You're never going to face a consequence for that, which is ridiculous
Yeah.
as well. But so he does that. Red card. They had the corner. All of a sudden, they're down to 11 men. It was the last action of the game. Makes no sense. It was nice to see West Ham crumble like that, mentally crumble. I enjoyed that part at least.
Mhm.
I know there's 45 minutes of the game which were
God
absolute hell
awful?
for me to watch. Absolute hell for me to watch. Some of the worst 45 minutes I'll ever watch of Chelsea Football Club. But at least they came back. At least they got
Yep.
3 points for whatever it's worth. To keep an eye on United at
Mhm.
this point, who's been playing great, and throughout Rosinier's time, they've looked good, except it seems in the Carabao Cup competitions, where they
Yeah, this
the
is
only
your only 2
losses they've had.
losses under him.
The only two losses they've had. Anyways, Chelsea, for as much as they're people cry about the spending and stuff like that, not bringing the fact that we had our under 21 team nuked in what was it 2017 or something like that, and then all the business with Roman Abramovich afterwards had to spend the money. Anyways, very quiet. One of those things we did a couple of years ago was having Anselmino, and he's bounced back and forth between the club and loans. He was over at Dortmund. Now, you've seen. I don't know if you've seen like when he got recalled. There's a thing of him like crying in the tunnel or something like that when they hear the news. The reason they recalled him is because Borussia Dortmund started getting very vocal about how they were going to keep him, they were going to sign him and stuff like that. He wasn't for sale. He was never for sale. All they did was go put him out there to like get minutes, which he was, and he was producing. So they said, no, 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 that isn't happening. So they brought him back there. I don't think they even had a worry of even putting him on to the squad. They were going to just put him out to Strasbourg anyways. But they bring back in Amadou Sarr, or sorry, Mamadou Sarr. He had a great AFCON. He won the championship. He's been doing very well in France. Let's see what he looks like on the back line. But they have that guy too. They have Josh Achimpong, and they're not playing him.
Yeah.
Uh, I saw a bananas thing on, I don't know what it was, Twitter, or if it was Instagram. It was one of those stupid things where Chelsea turns down an 80 million euro offer for Achimpong. I say horseshit to that. That's just clickbait baloney. There's no way. Of course they would. They don't play this poor kid, and what they also he can also play on the left side like the left back, which he's doing everything they wants, and he can't get any minutes. So
Yeah.
ridiculous. But more important than all of this, and remember David Dastro Fofana? Anyways, he's over in Strasbourg now too. I totally forgot that he was still under Chelsea contract and stuff like that. So weird. Axel Disasi caught the bus probably back across city because he went back to West Ham on another loan deal to West Ham, just like he closed out last year. No option to buy. You can't get anybody to actually want to purchase this guy, which is too bad. We couldn't get anybody to purchase Raheem Sterling either. But I guess he
No.
finally decided he wanted to play somewhere. So a mutual decision was made to terminate the contract. Finally, the long nightmare is over. Now they
I'm
haven't.
surprised it took this long.
It's bananas. It's bananas. They must have had to do it this way because of financial fair play things and stuff like that, and making money work. Because it ends up they save some money for the contract, but no one's actually said the precise amount of money, but it's in the neighborhood of we have to give him 20 to 25 million pounds to not play for Chelsea anymore. And it's
That's
considered
insane.
a win. So
Yeah.
there you go. But
That's
he never
insane.
signed with anybody.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, he doesn't
Now,
have to in the window.
but
He can
yeah,
sign whenever.
yeah. But I think at this point the team's like he only wants to stay in London. Like he had plenty of opportunities to go to Italy. He has plenty of opportunities to go to Turkey if he wanted to, and of course the Saudis would have had him at the price that we had him at before. He only wants to stay in London. I don't know who wants to have him in London. Maybe he goes to West Ham or something like that. Give him somebody
I
on the
don't
left
know.
side. But yeah, basically they can have all of our or cast us over at London
Yeah.
Stadium for all I care. Yeah, West Ham's moves. We mentioned Disassi. We mentioned bringing in Traore. Nicholas Fulkrug goes to AC Milan. But the big thing is we won't have Luca Paqueta to kick around anymore.
No, we will not. He
Now,
saw a sinking ship and he got the hell out of there to Brazil.
yeah, he put his money on moving to Brazil. Let's see if let's see if any bookies are having any problems with Paqueta going back to Brazil in this window. There you go. And they
Yeah.
moved James Ward-Prowse over to Burnley. Poor guy. Remember when
That's
we
just a
first started
loan
this?
deal too.
We started this. You know, he looked
Yeah.
so good. He would like his set piece came up. James Ward-Prowse, you put in there, he would be something else, and then nothing. Okay, that's enough of talking about real football clubs. Let's talk about Brighton and Everton. Now, Pascal Gross came back. I'm
He
so
did.
happy because it's my favorite letter to ever spell. He's back. Scores his first goal since returning to Brighton in the 73rd minute. But Beto, again, these French guys have just been finding a way for Everton lately. Gets one in the 97th minute
Yep.
to equalize. The best part, David Moyes gets a yellow for celebrating the goal. And has this to say afterwards? I wrote it all down because I thought it was so
Okay.
funny. Imagine getting booked for celebrating. Fucking sad. You know what I mean? I bloody will do it again. In fact, had I been a bit more mobile, I probably would have done a knee slide. There you go. That a boy.
Good
He can have
job,
a job
David.
just celebrating. He can just have a job celebrating. He doesn't
Yeah.
even need to be managing anymore. Uh,
Congratulations, David Moyes.
yeah. Of course, we mentioned that Brighton reunited with Gross in the window. They recalled Matt O'Reilly and they from Marseille, and Igor Julio they brought back from West Ham. Everton brought in Tyreek George
Mhm.
from uh, from Chelsea. So with a loan and option to buy. We'll see
Okay.
if that option is actually taken. But
Have we done a show since Jack Grealish broke his foot?
we have not done a show, I guess, since Jack Grealish broke his foot. So is that what they're thinking of Tyreek George is moving him out to a wing or something like that? They'll have Dwight McNeil.
Yeah, he didn't leave.
Yeah. I was gonna say I had that saved in the when we talk about Palace, but how didn't this same thing happen to Tyreek George? Tyreek George supposed to go to Fulham. What was it last year? But the
Yeah.
paperwork didn't get done in time,
Yep.
so he's had to stick around in Chelsea. And then his girlfriend, Dwight McNeil's girlfriend, wrote this big 5-page thing on Instagram talking about the mental health of it all and stuff like that, and how one team was, just ghosted them afterwards. I'm assuming it's Forest because they said they're happy to still be in Everton and da 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 da. It's like, well, okay, just relax. Dwight McNeil should be happy to getting a paycheck no matter where it is. You know what I mean? It's not like,
I mean, yeah, but
yeah, come on, let's go. Yeah, it's unfortunate for him if he was thinking about getting minutes, but he just got minutes because his buddy got hurt. I don't know, like, why wouldn't they just send Jack Grealish back? If he broke his foot and he's going to be out for the season. Maybe they're thinking he's going to be back. Maybe they think there's a way he comes back before the end of the season. But to do what? You know what I mean? Unless they're
yeah.
like in the conference league run-ins, stuff like that. They're I think in 10th spot or something like that. Everton, off the top of my head, I can't
I
remember.
mean, everything that I'm seeing here says David Moyes said Jack Grealish is likely to miss the rest of the season.
Yeah, why wouldn't they send him back? Doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. Anyways, it's not even there. Yeah, he's unless the option to buy if I don't think there was an option to buy on Grealish. I think it's just a
There,
straight loan.
I think there is an option to buy.
Oh, is there? Maybe that's why he
Uh,
doesn't get sent back. If he gets sent back, they have to cancel the loan. We're gonna
let's see
find out for
here.
you guys. We're gonna find out. Once he does that, I'm just gonna warm it up
Yeah,
with
it has. It's a 50 million pound purchase
oh,
option.
they're gonna do it. They're
They
gonna
might.
pay
They
15
might.
million pounds for a one-footed Jack Grealish. Okay,
Yeah.
moving to the Molyneux, and Wolves had that impressive for them, unbeaten run to start the
It
the
it
new year.
it's done.
Yeah, it's over now. They're wolfing around once again at home. Junior Krupi's goal to open the game was pretty
Spectacular.
good. Pretty good. That was in the 33rd minute. And Alex Scott also, in extra time, gets the second goal for Bournemouth. Nice cross in by Ryan, and that thing went to the top of the net in a flash. Absolutely no chance for a save there. Now, the Wolves window I thought was going to be busier.
Yeah, I thought so
uh,
too.
I thought maybe there would be a buyer for like Wang Hee Chan or something like that. Maybe for them to get some real money because you got to get rid of these guys because you're just going to the championship anyways. It's over for
Yeah.
Wolves.
Yeah.
They did move Jorgen Strand Larson over to Palace, like had been rumored for a little bit. 48 million pound fee. That's a record signing for Palace too, by the way, for a guy who
Hmm.
barely played this year on a very bad team. And of course, they brought in Ryan or whatever as well for 24.7 from Vasco da Gama. But of course, they saw leading scorer move, or sorry, yeah, they're. No, I don't even know why I wrote this down for Bournemouth. Bournemouth lost their leading scorer this window to City, and he's been okay, I would say, for
Hmm.
them since then. Even if City hasn't been, so there you are.
Yeah.
Moving to Liverpool, and is there a more confusing team than Liverpool?
They're all over the place this year.
I could think of one team that's more confusing than Liverpool, Newcastle. And they
Newcastle
got to play
also all
Newcastle.
over the place this
Yeah,
year.
yeah, they absolutely took it to Newcastle in the prime time Saturday matchup at Anfield. And speaking of guys who hadn't scored in a year, Anthony Gordon scores from the run of play for the first time in 361 days. And that opens the scoring, and that was also going to be it for Juventus, or for Juventus. I was thinking of the black and white shirts. Newcastle
I was
for
gonna
the
say, since when are
yeah
they playing
for
Juventus?
Newcastle for the rest of the year or the rest of the night. Ikatike gets a brace 2 minutes before halftime, or 2 minutes apart just before halftime. Make it 2-1. They don't look back. Florian Wirtz scores again. Maybe a corner has been turned for the German here. And I won't be able to
Maybe.
kick him around as much. Maybe they just wanted, a certain Swedish guy to not be around, and all of a sudden they can spread the goals around the line a little bit more. Who knows?
Who knows?
But Konate is gonna. Konate actually survives the window and sticks around with Liverpool here. Of course, they
Yeah, I
didn't
was
have.
surprised Kanade didn't leave.
Well, I think they had an idea of letting him go, except something happened, and we'll talk about it in a second. His goal comes, of course, there's a cross in, and I think it was a corner, and Nick Pope just drops the ball.
Yeah.
Like at this point, he was a little butterfingery. That was the 4-1 goal there. It was absolutely shocking defending by the Maggies the entire night. Terrible defense. Anyways, Liverpool's window was fairly quiet until they pulled a Chelsea on Chelsea, swooping in to get their guy that they've been looking for, Jeremy Jacqueo from Rennes, for £68 million. Now he's a
Hmm.
youngster. He's been playing well in France, but one thing is he won't be joining Liverpool this year. He
No.
doesn't join them now until the summer. So no help coming for that back line that has looked fragile, especially with an aging Virgil van Dijk, who looks like a
Who has
shadow of
played
himself.
every Liverpool game this season?
Yeah, he doesn't need a rest. Of course, he turns around when a ball's getting kicked at him,
Yeah.
and he looks about 2 paces slower than he ever has in his life. But he can still head a ball in, so that's why they're keeping him, because he would take the ball away from somebody else in front, which is fine. Anyways, Newcastle's biggest move. Are you ready for this? They
Hmm.
sent Jamal Lascelles to Leicester. Oh,
Wow.
pretty important stuff for the Geordies.
Yeah. Can we talk about Newcastle's goal?
Sure.
Anthony Gordon has scored from open play.
Yep. Yep. Brought that up. Yep. First time in 308. Was it 381 days?
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
utterly insane.
Yeah. There was a lot of people linking Anthony Gordon to Arsenal. And I was like, why?
I don't know why.
Enough guys on the wings not scoring from open play. This guy, yeah. Unless they had a Princess Di look-alike contest, and they need to bring in a ringer. They have to bring in the best. Anthony
Come
Gordon.
on.
Anthony Gordon is as good a Di look-alike as you'll ever find in the Premier League. So there you go. Yeah, and he can kick a penalty too every once in a while. But I don't think you guys have any problem with that.
No, we don't have any problem with that.
No, but we didn't even mention Saka getting injured in the warm up for the game against Leeds, and that's why Madueke had got the play. But it was it was considered a little niggle, a little
Mm-hmm.
niggle. Um, that's a doctor's term, if I remember
Yes.
right. As a
It is in the Premier
professional,
League.
as a professional doctor scientist myself, I
You are
know
not.
exactly. I know what a niggle is.
You do not.
I have no idea. Okay, moving on. I had no idea about this result happening at Villa Park, and I'm sure this was a big highlight for you of the
Yep.
weekend. And how the Sunday matches start. Uh, Kevin Charde, maybe not the smartest move on Matty Cash's back on the pitch, gets up and stamps on his groin.
Yeah.
Not on the actual groin, not on the not on the bits and pieces and stuff like that. So that was in the 42nd minute, an absolutely ridiculous thing to do. And West Ham was, or sorry, Brentford was on the go ahead here. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they had 2, 3 good shots. Villa's sitting back for whatever reason. So you think, oh, red card. That's gonna even things out. It doesn't.
It
Before the
doesn't.
half is Dango Watara getting 2 cracks and scoring a goal down a man, and he finally gets in the second one. Uh, the 1-0 lead holds. Villa can't do anything. Like they come in, like yeah, all the credit to or Keith Andrews. He just parks the bus and Villa Villa's confounded. I
Yeah,
don't think
Villa
they
had
have to
no
go through
idea what
that
to
very.
do.
I don't think they have to go through that kind of stuff very often.
No,
They
Villa
bring
had
in
no
the
idea
extra.
what to do.
They bring in the extra center back. I think they had 5 across the line, stuff like that, and just packed everything. It's like go ahead, try your best. You didn't do anything. Anyways, uh, let's. I guess I could consider it a costly 3 points for the villains, seeing how they were just 4 points down.
Yep.
Have to finish the weekend 7 points back, for God's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we mentioned, I think, last week that Villa had brought in Tammy Abraham in from Besiktas and Douglas Luiz in from Juventus. Daniel Martin was sent away on loan to Roma. And Evan Gessard, another transfer over, or I guess it's a loan out to Palace. At one point, thought they had a whole new front line going. Uh, Wondering why all this stuff was happening, but why the reason why will be made clear when we talk about Palace in a second. So first, we're gonna go to Old Trafford, and United are unbeaten in 7, something like that. Like this is a low point of the entire show since
Mm-hmm.
we've started doing this however many years ago. Now they did need an extra time winner.
They
Uh,
did.
yeah, to deny Fulham their point after, of course, Fulham had drawn equal in extra time as well. Casemiro's actually scores in the 19th
Casemiro
minute.
did something shocking.
Yeah, Mateus Cunha scores. He's been looking much better as of late. Uh, then, Harry Maguire's going to foul Raul Jimenez. Yeah, all right. Jimenez, of course, he isn't going to miss a penalty. See,
Mm.
he's as automatic as a Mexican international can ever get from that spot. And then Kevin's goal to tie it. Again, there's a lot of these goals this week coming from just outside or right on top of the box, going top corner with some pace.
Mm-hmm.
You could like overlay this on top of each other. It's almost identical. All these shots, crazy stuff. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
Benjamin Sesko to the rescue for United, which is crazy. They're getting goals from guys that they were supposed to get goals from.
Yep.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyways, that winner comes in the 90, was it the 96th minute or something like that? Crazy stuff. United being fourth place is crazy stuff. Like, this
Mhm.
is Manchester United. Ugh. You know, I wonder how a certain old ex-manager of theirs is feeling now, on vacation somewhere in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fulham dropping to ninth, which is good for Fulham.
Mhm.
Their spot is like 13th. Overall, you can just basically they can move in there. United just making the very very small moves. We talked about there was that rumor for Delap, but mostly just moving youth players around and stuff like that, but getting them in.
Mhm.
Fulham bringing Oscar Bob
This one
from
was
Man
weird to
City,
me.
£27 million, and of course sending Traore away to
West Ham.
West Ham. Uh, all right, I don't understand the well. City give up on their youth players quick.
They do.
Uh, we could thank them for a number 10 that we got, that they gave up for 40 million or something like that. So,
Mhm.
but when you have established guys and you're at that top, it's just same like it is in every sport. You have your established guys. You're not going to deny them minutes unless you have like Chelsea's medical staff who would deny the minutes all the time. If you're winning, they keep playing and they're producing. So what are you going to do with these kids? You got to make some money off them somehow. Like City spent 87 million just in this window on two players.
Yeah.
No one's going to talk about it, especially with the 115 charges still to be rendered as soon as Pep Guardiola retires. Because why would they shame his legacy of cheating? Of cheating. Anyways,
So awful.
moving on. Forest and Palace. It's Morgan Gibbs White scoring 5 minutes in, making the City ground pretty happy.
Mhm.
But that came from a long thrown in. And in the 45th, a corner's headed in or near headed in by Jefferson Lerma, but luckily swatted away by Nico Williams. Fortunate part is Nico Williams is a left back.
Yeah,
He
not the
gets a
goalkeeper.
he gets a red card. There's a penalty there. Ismail Sarr is going to be the one to take it from the spot for a Palace who had nothing and had no one and still managed to draw a 1-all level game with Forest at their home.
Mhm.
Forest made another interesting move. Matt Sells is hurt, but not like debilitatingly injured. He'll be back. But they brought in Stefan Ortega from
Yeah, that
City.
was weird to me too.
I'm surprised that City was willing to let him go, considering how Trafford's looked in their system. But
Yeah.
yeah, what are you going to do? Again, you got to get rid of some money on the books somehow for City. I don't. I guess maybe you don't. You'll be able to hide it, and they won't do anything about it. But it's whatever it is. And also, yeah, and then Palace had recalled Luis and Zinchenko, or sorry, the Forza recalled Luis and Zinchenko, then loaned right out. Palace, this is the interesting window and stuff like that. So we talked about everybody. We talked about Brendan Johnson before him coming
Mhm.
in. We talk about Jurgen Strand Larson, Evan Gessard. The big deal was that JP Mateta was supposed to go to Italy,
Yep.
but there was something wrong with him. I think there
Yep.
was something wrong with him, and Palace knew. That's why they
Mhm.
kept holding this back so late, trying to sneak the medical in. Turns out JP Mateta was injured, needed surgery that would keep him out 3 months. The deals were called off, so they were stuck with these guys or whatever. But they needed Strand Larson in because
They did. Yeah.
Mateta was done for the year. They needed somebody, and one thing they got was a well-rested striker
They did.
because he'd hardly play even at Wolves, for God's sakes. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know how this next match made you feel
I
because
I I enjoyed the gift that Tottenham gave us.
yes, it's over at the North London Center for Despair and Hopelessness. City goes in. Of course, they were chasing your Arsenal team. They were down by 7 points going in this. So a win would put it back up to four, manageable maybe 4 points. They get first half goals from Ryan Cherky. They get another from Semenyo, who's been finding. Has he been scoring at a better rate than Erling Haaland since the time he's come in? He might have been.
Might be.
I think people are figuring out putting two on Holland in the box and leaving a little extra room on the wings. But what are you going to do? Victim FC
Mm-hmm.
rears its ugly head once again, second half. Dom Solanski's going to score. Or did I say Solanski?
You
Like it's
did.
Polish.
It's Solanke.
Solanke. Solanke. He's won the league with Chelsea, I believe. Now, uh, he's going to kick. There's three players lying down on the ground. He's going to kick, and he's going to make a kick at the ball. Looks like he kind of goes through one. I can't remember which defender it is.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the ball. The ball goes in. Pep is going to cry about this. The players on the pitch are going to cry about this.
Of course they are.
VAR does nothing. The goal stands. They're a little unhappy. I don't know if they have time to recover. By the time Solanke gets his brace in the was it the 70th minute, I believe it was. So stealing 2 points away from a
Mm-hmm.
City squad, uh, and a poor Spurs team at this. And how do
This
you
Spurs
give
team is
up?
awful.
You go to a 2-0 lead on Spurs. How do you give it back?
Yeah.
How do you give it back? This is not. This
City,
isn't your Pappy
City
City,
have City have also been very up and down this year. Not
especially
as
as of
bad as
late.
Liverpool,
Yeah,
but
they were consistent enough into getting. It's not good for them. Like it's like
no,
this isn't City like and stuff
it's
like
not
that.
City. No.
This is City settling in and stuff like that. This is probably
Mm-hmm.
they're on the decline. City.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not deny that. Anyways, we talked about how much money they spent, the players they got, and stuff like that. The players they got rid of, and then of course the Spurs brought in Conor Gallagher, which still upsets my stomach to
Mm-hmm.
the point where I can't sleep at night. And then they sold Johnson the Pals, and that's really the most. Everybody makes the little small moves. That's really the only ones that matter. Okay, one more to go.
One more
At
to
the
go.
Stadium of Light, for
Yep.
God's sakes. Yeah, Sunderland didn't feel bad for their co promotion sisters, I guess, over at Burnley. They slapped them around for
Yep.
90 minutes. Poor Axel Tuanzebe kind of gets his foot in the way or whatever of Habib Diarra's shot. It's going to go in. It's going to count as an own goal. It's going to rob Diarra of his first ever Premier League goal for about
Yeah.
23 minutes. For
Yeah.
about 23 minutes, when Diarra is going to put it in after a block cross or whatever, just leaves him some space. Says, oh, okay, he's going to score this one. And then 72nd minute, another one of those terrific strikes bar down for Sunderland
Mm-hmm.
from that. This time it's from Talibi to make it a 3-0 lead. Sunderland, maybe works out some frustrations they've had over the last few weeks on them and stuff like that. Their only real thing they did was bring in Nilsson Angulu from Anderlecht, someone for £17.5 million, which seems outrageously high. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And they loaned Simon Adingra to Monaco. Uh, Burnley bring in James Ward-Prowse on loan to I don't know what he's gonna do there.
I don't know
He
what
gets
he's gonna
stuck in
do
all these teams.
either.
He gets stuck
Yeah.
on all these teams that are gonna go get demoted. Anyways, that was it for the matches. What match week was this? Week 24? Are we
20.
24 weeks in?
We're 24 weeks in.
Not much time. Not much time for these
Nope.
the chasing pack to
Nope.
grab your gunners and stuff like that. So
Yep.
we'll see what happens coming up. So we'll do the sleep wrap stuff.
We need to
Now
do the next two match weeks
we're gonna do the next couple match weeks. Okay, so that's good.
because there are matches on Tuesday next week
Yeah.
before we
Ridiculous.
do the.
Ridiculous. Why they need to force this stuff in. But we're going to do it. Now, good news is, well, it's all not great news for me, maybe, because I end up tying Ferris with six correct, but I guess his goals for was closer, so he actually gets the gold medal this week. The good news is you passed Ryan
I did.
in the standings and stuff
Ryan
like that.
hasn't played for several weeks, which
Right.
tells you how far
I
behind
was
I
I was
was.
gonna say we don't have to worry about that part and stuff like that. You just have to think. Oh, look, you bounced all the way into third place.
Look, I'm having a
Let's
terrible week
14 weeks
season.
ago.
I also definitely have missed some weeks.
Yep.
which has put me farther behind.
And also, uh, Ferris is into witchcraft, and that's how he gets his stuff done. So,
He's a
uh,
warlock.
oh my gosh, he's the worst one. Now, starting off the week, again, we're back at Bell End.
Mm-hmm.
Leeds are going to host Forest.
Forrest should win that.
Ooh, I'm going to go Leeds at home. Let's see,
Okay.
see if they can bounce back against Forest. The next, a match. You know how committed I am to starting 11. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pay attention to well, not as much as much of the matches I can stomach, but it's United and Tottenham at Old
United.
Trafford. United should beat them around and stuff like that, unless they're like their sister club there and build a 2-0 lead and just to bottle it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Your Arsenal Gunners are going to go against Sunderland, who just came off a big win.
Arsenal.
I picked Arsenal as well. Bournemouth hosting Aston Villa. And for some reason, my thing keeps saying selection error, but I'll fix it all in a minute.
Okay.
Bournemouth versus Aston Villa.
I'm going Villa. I think they'll bounce back.
Yeah, yeah. I think they have to. I'll pick them. Yeah, I can't see the Cherries winning that match.
Mm-mm.
Burnley's going to host West Ham again. It's in the Claret. It's the Claret Derby once again.
Mm-hmm. Draw.
Woo! These are two cellar dwellers. 3 points are huge for either club to see it going on. I think West Ham has enough to beat Burnley. So we'll see about that. Fulham is going to host Everton.
Another draw.
Another draw. I'm going to pick Everton on that one to win at the Cottage. Wolves and Chelsea. Chelsea need
Chelsea.
to take the 3 points, and let's see who.
If you
Let's
all lose to
let's see let's
Wolves,
see who the doctors decide can play.
yeah.
But yeah, Chelsea's gonna win that one. Over at St. James Park, we've got Newcastle hosting Brentford.
Brentford.
Ooh, I'm gonna take. They're so topsy turvy. I'm gonna take Newcastle on that one just because they're at home. Brighton's gonna host Crystal Palace.
I'm going Brighton.
Brighton should win that one as well. And then I think when they drew up this schedule, I think they were thinking this was going to be one of the bigger matchups, probably the
Mm-hmm.
biggest matchup of the year. But as it is, Liverpool is going to host City. Well, I guess both teams. Yeah, if you lose this game, you're out of it.
Yeah. I'm going Liverpool.
Ooh, is that wishful thinking? We'll see. I'm going to go City on
Okay.
that one. All right, so gotta finish. I don't know why I'm putting in a tiebreaker thing or whatever because it keeps saying selection error on my thing. But let's put it in anyways. I'm gonna
Yep.
go for a little bit more. Okay, on to Match Week 26.
Yep.
If this thing actually starts up, yeah, they're saying there's an error. You may have to walk me through Match Week 26.
All right. Match week 26. Chelsea host Leeds.
Yeah, Chelsea. If they bottle this one at Leeds,
No.
I don't.
At
Yeah,
the bridge.
yeah. I honestly think, Egbali doesn't get to leave London alive. He doesn't get to crawl back anywhere. They will find him. This is the yeah. There's so many blue co out things or whatever already. This
Mm-hmm.
would be the absolute last straw. Chelsea's going to batter Leeds and take him up behind the shed, which is what we call Craven Cottage,
Okay.
even though we have a
I
shed end.
I will go with Chelsea as well.
Smart.
Everton and Bournemouth.
Oh, it's at the Pickle Dickelson
It's at
Stadium.
the Dill Pickle Stadium.
I'm gonna take Everton in that one.
Me too. Tottenham hosting Newcastle.
I'm gonna pick a draw.
I'm gonna pick Newcastle.
Hmm.
West Ham hosting Man United.
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 The United
Yeah.
Derby.
If I think it is, if the United wins this week and in match week 26, that guy might be able to finally cut his hair.
He's 5, right?
It needs 5 in a row.
Yeah, 3 straight wins and 7 unbeaten, so not a bad run.
Yeah. Aston Villa hosting Brighton.
Oh, Villa should win.
Villa should win. Crystal Palace hosting Burnley.
Palace.
Yeah,
Even
Palace.
even they're depleted state, but they got some guys back, and of course they're not going to get demoted like some team in that matchup.
Yeah. City hosting Fulham.
City's going to win.
Yeah, I agree. Forest hosting Wolves. Forest.
This is Wolves. Yeah, their last maybe their last kick at respectability, but they're going to lose. Yeah,
Wolves have already lost respectability. Come on.
yeah. Well, just to get something back from somebody, they still need to get past 11, but they're going to lose to Forest probably
Yeah.
by a bunch.
Sunderland hosting Liverpool.
Ooh,
I'm
I'm
going
going to go
draw.
Sunderland. I'm going Sunderland.
Okay, I'm going draw.
Okay, smart.
Brentford hosting Arsenal. I'm going Arsenal, of course.
What? You don't think Brentford has a chance?
No,
Yeah, Arsenal should win that match.
and that's all of them.
Well, that's it then. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if I can get the sleeper app back up and running, and we'll see if I remember to do it by the time we're back here on starting 11. Hope so.
I hope for your sake you do.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you everyone who joined us today. We had a lot of people in here at one point, so that was
Nice.
cool. Snark, where can people find you?
Oh boy. Well, we have a sister station round here called the Post Credits, and I'll be going through both Buffy and Angel on a little thing we call the Rewatchers Council. The Buffy episodes come out Thursday live, 5 Central Time, guys. Angel live Fridays at 5 Central Time as well. We do that with one Ferris Muthana. I don't know if you've heard about this guy, but he's a sorcerer when it comes to predicting soccer matches. So we got that going. Also, coming up, we got the Olympics right around the corner here. And right here on Good Friends, Better Rivals, we'll be talking about the hockey situation. We're going to be doing it on our new hockey show, Post Whistle. I'll be on it with Ryan. Maybe Adelia will make it if she so chooses to get,
I
get
want to be
down.
on it. I want to
So
be on it.
if
So
she wants to drop the gloves on
no,
post
no.
whistle, we're gonna do just what's happened in the NHL up to the run into Olympics. Of course, they'll be on Olympic break as the national teams go out trying to win gold in Italy, which isn't a very good place for Canada's memories of Olympic hockey. That's for sure. Stupid Torino. We'll see. We're going to be in a half complete arena at the time. We'll see if fans are even allowed into the bloody thing. It should be
It's a disaster.
it should be at least fun to watch.
Yes.
But yeah, let's spectate. I don't know how the hockey's going to
I
be
don't know.
anything like
Yeah.
that. And yeah, it's well, we're going to go through the teams. There's already been some changes to the Canada team. There's been a change to the American team, if I remember right, as well. So we can go through the changes that maybe that have happened. If there will be something happen, if it happens, it has to happen in the next couple of days because I think the break goes Thursday. So we'll see.
Yeah. Also, next weekend, Ryan and I are doing a watch along of USA versus Denmark in the group stage
Ooh.
of the hockey. Ryan, of course, Danish heritage, so
It
that should
has
be fun.
my little Nikolai Ehlers, former Jet Nikolai Ehlers against
Mhm.
current Jets Kyle Connor Hellebuck. See if Hellebuck's actually playing.
Yeah.
He should be.
Um, but yeah, you can find me this week on the post credits doing the Captain Marvel review on the Rewatchers Council
Mhm.
on Thursday night at 5:30 Pacific. And I'll be back on this channel at 9 o'clock Pacific tonight. Ferris and I are recapping the finals of the Australian Open in on the
Oh.
rally. So check that out. But until next time, everybody, we are out of here. Bye.